Time to talk about this week's top indie comic picks for New Comic Book Day, September 29th. But first, go ahead, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel down below. That button's there. Drop a comment. Let us know what you're looking forward to this week for New Comic Book Day. And hit that like button. Welcome back. Let's get into this, starting with my number 10 pick this week for the indie comics coming out September 29th. We've got Night of the Cadillacs, issue number 1 of 2 from Scout Comics. This one from Jake Hearns, Jeff Marsick, Kirk Manley, and a cover by Rob Pryor. In the spirits of Lost Boys and Warriors, Night of the Cadillacs is a high-octane, genre-bending mix of horror, hard action, forbidden love, and street culture. Rival supernatural gangs come to Earth on an overnight raiding mission to retrieve life-restoring blood from humans. While the gangs battle among themselves for prized captives, a defiant and charismatic gangbanger breaks free from his crew to go on the run with a rebellious 18-year-old human girl to protect her from his predatory family. Sounds like nothing else that's out there right now. I'm looking forward to it, and that is my number 10 pick this week. Going for number 9 this week, a book that I missed when it first came out, but I finally picked up the issue number 1 and loved it. We've got Suicide Jockeys number 2 from Source Point Press. This one from Ryland Grant doing the writing, with Iwan Joko Triono doing the art. Cover art by Edson Ferreira and Davy Leon Diaz, who's also doing interior arts. After learning that his lost love might still be alive, adrift somewhere in the vast ocean of space and time, Denver Wallace must convince his estranged team to set aside the years of bad blood, saddle up, and bring her back home. Also, there's a pretty funny reality show subplot, a panel where a dog takes a massive dump, and plenty of cool monster fighting stuff. This one definitely has some good humor going on in it, good story that's been set up so far, and I am ready to check out what happens in this next issue. That's my number 9 pick this week. Coming in at number 8 this week, I've got Out of Body number 4 from Aftershock Comics. This one from Peter Milligan and Inaki Miranda. Do we really know what others think of us? Psychologist Dan Collins is finding out the hard way. While his body is kept alive by machines, he continues to search for who attacked him and left him hovering between life and death. Problem is, there seems to be a lot of possible culprits. Meanwhile, Dan tries to help the restless spirit of suicide Adam Conrad with potentially lethal results. Astral projections, homunculi, and gardening tips. All this and more in the penultimate issue of Out of Body. So, second to last issue of the series. It'll end with issue number 5. It's been a great ride so far. Seems like we should be hitting a pretty big peak here in 4, ending into issue 5. So, I can't wait to read this week. So that is the 8th pick this week. Coming in for number 7 is Space Bastards number 8 from Joe Aubrey and Eric Peterson, with art back to being Derek Robertson's art. So we are returning with his art for the War Song of the Hiccupie. When we last saw the Bastards, everyone died, right? Well, maybe there were a few survivors, and now they're battered, bruised, and ready to take the fight to Wayne Powers, that smarmy jerk. Before Powers can deploy his teleportation tech and eliminate the need for the IPS forever, the last bastard standing hatch an elaborate scheme that would make Danny Ocean smile and blush, to disrupt the proceedings and make sure they're not the only couriers in this galaxy worth hiring. I've been looking forward to this issue coming out for a while. It's been a little bit of a break because the trade paperback came out for the first couple issues, so back at it, new Space Bastards issue coming out, and Absolutely love it. You guys saw I recently acquired the original Space Bastards book with the original artist Gabo. Just so cool to have that part of the collection. I'm rearranging my wall right now. It's going to end up somewhere on the wall. Just super awesome. But yeah, that's why this is my number 7 pick this week. So excited to have it back. Coming in just below that, number 6 is Something is Killing the Children, issue number 20. You guys know Something's Killing Children is great. James Tynion has been killing it. Werther Deladera's art is awesome on this story, and this story arc is just way better than I thought it was going to be. I thought we might lose what Something is Killing the Children is about going into this kind of prequel arc, and this is awesome. We're seeing how Erica became who she is in the first 15 issues, and she's facing her official initiation into the Order of the St. George. Torturous process that pits a child against an unrestrained monster and bonds them to it for the rest of their life. Does Erica have what it takes to earn the mark of St. George, embody the oath of secrecy each member of the House of Slaughter makes, and take her rightful place among the Order? This will wrap up this 4th volume of Something is Killing the Children. We do 5-issue volumes for this story, and it's been a hell of an arc, and I'm very excited to see how this wraps up. And then soon we'll be going into House of Slaughter also, so we're going to have both of those coming out, and this is a world that I think James Tynion plans on building and building and building, probably in the manner of Black Hammer, such an immersive world that Jeff Lemire built. So this might be James Tynion's Black Hammer. So coming in for my number 5 pick this week is Cinnamon, issue number 3 of 3. This wraps up the first volume of Cinnamon. I'm hoping we get more because this is just such a fun comic. Victoria Douglas writing and drawing this one, and their creation of Cinnamon is just phenomenal. The story has such humor and such relatable things coming from it with the cat and how I interact with my cat. What's going on in this one? City is still being ravaged by a sentient laser pointer with no end in sight to its reign. Cinnamon is really backed into the corner this time, and it's enough to stress any cat out. It's going to take some quick thinking and some rule-breaking deus machinas to land the punch of a lifetime, ending the threat once and for all. I probably just butchered how to say that. I've never been good at saying that, but there we go. Pick number 5 is issue number 3 of Cinnamon from Happy Tank Comics imprint of Behemoth Comics. Rolling on over into our number 4 pick this week, Echolands issue number 2 from J.H. Williams, Hayden Blackman, Dave Stewart. Absolutely loved issue 1. Its unique format and the high quality pages that we got, just printing quality higher than any other book coming from Image right now. And they're saying the major Image Comics event of 2021 continues. Hope, Red Hood, and her companions, Kor, Caniff, Castrum, Dana, Rabbit, and Rosa, are on the run from the wizard Taros Demond and his terrifying daughter. Why is the wizard willing to kill to regain his stolen gem? Can Hope and her crew escape the strange robots lurking in the tunnels beneath San Francisco? And will they survive a betrayal by the pirate captain Bloody Gums? This is a cool fantasy world being built here, and I am very excited to keep reading this one. Coming in for number 3 this week, I have Beckstar issue number 5 from Mad Cave Studios. This one, Joe Corallo, who we had on the channel in the past, I think between issue 3 and 4 maybe. Lorenzo Colangeli doing the art, and Sweeney Boo doing the cover art on this story. Beckstar and her crew's journey across the stars has led up to this moment. Beckstar and Mordecai face off with the fate of the universe and the godlike power of creation gauntlet at stake. Will Beckstar succeed in spite of all the setbacks, or will Mordecai wield the gauntlet and become the most powerful being in the universe? This is it. This is the last issue here. I hope that this ends in a place that we could see more of this world if Joe and Lorenzo wanted to come back and explore it. But I am very excited to see what happens, but I'm going to be sad that this is the last issue. So, number 3 pick this week. Coming in at number 2, also from Happy Tank Comics, imprint of Behemoth Comics, we've got Turbo Kid, Apple's Lost Adventure, number 1 of 2. This is from the creative team that created the Turbo Kid movie. The cult movie Turbo Kid is turning into a franchise with a sequel film in development, a video game, and now with this comic written by the directors and drawn by the storyboard artist of the movie. In this first issue, the Turbo Rider faces the robot war, and Apple discovers a path that leads to the Kid. A path full of blood, gore, fights, synth music, and of course, BMX. The interior art is so unique. I love it. I can see why this was the storyboard artist, but the use of minimalistic color, I have a soft spot for that, apparently. We see some of that with Steak. This is another type of minimalistic color use, and the color really is red. It's blood, often it looks like. And yeah, this is super cool. There's a lot of covers. My favorite is the kind of VHS looking cover. And then there's also a movie poster one, I think, that this is the VHS one is a Mega Drive homage cover, and then there's I want to say it's a ratio, it might not be, but there's a movie poster one that can be got. When you get that one, it's actually supposed to be signed, so that's a unique one. It's I think a higher price point too, so pretty cool, but keep that in mind, with the costs. But yeah, every cover is excellent on this one. I'm loving them all. There's some store variants out there that are pretty cool. But if you've kind of a fan of that cult movie Turbo Kid, definitely want to pick this one up. I watched it, I think it was on Amazon Prime or something recently, and just such an enjoyable movie to watch and kind of bring in some of that nostalgia feel. So coming in at number 1 this week is a new comic from Vault Comics called Human Remains, from Peter Milligan and Sally Cantorino. Peter Milligan getting 2 books in the top 10 this week, with Out of Body being in the top 10 as well. Sally Cantorino was the artist on I Walk with Monsters, and I love that story. I love her style with the horror elements of a story. And again, working with Deirdre Kelly as the colorist for her art. I've read issue 1. I have a review posted on our website, youpromisemecomics.com, so go check that out. But here's the premise. Dax and Bisa love each other, but in this new and terrifying world, love is dangerous. Feeling anything is dangerous. Earth has a new and terrible monsters that deprive us of the very feelings that make us humans. A shocking tale of pent-up emotions, perilously loud sex, and forced composure in the face of unspeakable horror from one of the most celebrated writers in comics, Peter Milligan, and breakout horror artist Sally Cantorino. Just absolutely amazing. The whole concept about it showing emotion and the monsters essentially monster aliens coming and just killing you right away is so interesting, and the way that they play this out in the story is incredible. Highly recommend picking this one up if you're looking for a new horror title, and it's horror in a way that other books aren't doing right now, so highly recommend it. Go check this one out. So that was my number 1 pick. I do want to shout out a couple other things that are coming out this week, and they are trade paperbacks of some stories. First one being, and this all because we're coming up on Halloween within about a month from this new comic book day, and you might want a spooky read, so here's some for you. We've got Scarlett Hood trade paperback from Nick Roche and Chris O'Halloran. Highly recommend this. This is going to be a sequel at some point because of the way it left off. There's got to be a sequel. What's scarier, fighting demons or letting your kids down? That's what a group of parents will find out as their plans to solve the school's long-standing mystery lead to one parenting nightmare after another. To-do list: drop kids at preschool, grab coffee with other parents, go ghost hunting in the woods, fight demonic entity, collect kids, nap time. With the kids away on a field trip, a group of parents disturbs an ancient evil buried beneath the old church hall, unearthing a decades-old mystery about a missing child and inviting something hungry into their lives. Suddenly, their mornings go from playdates and peanut allergies to battle for the souls of a broken family and one child in particular, in this original story that combines the highs of parenthood with the horror movie scares. So, such an awesome story. I read it when it was coming out. Feels like it's been a while since the issues came out. And issue 1 was great. Issue 2 was kind of like, I'm like, all right, come on, let's bring in the creepiness. But it was hinting, it got hints. And then issue 3 just kind of hits you with some of that horror and creepiness. And then issue 4 just solidifies that. And when I read issue 4, I was actually kind of freaked out. So highly recommend it if you're looking for something like that. We also have Autumnal from Vault, which is by Daniel Kraus and Chris Sheehan. And this one was apparently, the cover was deemed too scary for Amazon to advertise it. So there you go. It is a slow burn horror story over all the issues. So reading it together in a trade paperback, you get that a little bit more quickly. But it's so good. Such a good story. I highly recommend reading this one as well if you're looking for something creepy for the fall. Especially if you're looking for some nature kind of horror, because the leaves and the trees, yeah, that's where the creepiness comes in. And lastly, from Vault, also Shadow Service trade paperback for Volume 2. Definitely recommend picking up Volume 1 first, obviously, but Volume 1 and 2, read this story, Shadow Service. We've got the MI666. Come on. Supernatural things going on, witchcraft, spycraft, craziness. This one is from Kevin Scott and Corin Howell. Just highly recommend that you check this out. Triona Farrell, I think, is the colorist, and Andrew will design on the letters. So this one coming out this week. Collect 6 through 10. See if your shop has 1 through 5 as well. The first volume trade paperback. But yeah, that was just my extra shout out there for some trades to check out this week, and trades that fit the theme of the spookiness of fall. So that is it for my top picks this week. Lots of good stuff coming out this week. So as always, you know what to do. Collect what you love, and we'll see you next time.